Hello guys. Um, Hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Hello guys. Um, Hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Today is Tuesday, and hello guys. We're just going to do a very quick analysis on Euro USD. Okay, remember I told you guys that I don't take trades on Monday. I want to sit back and see what the market is going to do on Monday. All right, and told you guys that I only look out for one trade in a week. All right, and obviously, in most cases, what happens is that Tuesday tends to form the low or the high of the week. Okay, so I just want to sit back on Monday and watch where the market is heading towards, so I can plan to execute my trade during the New York session or late New York session. Okay, that is if I see my signature play out. Okay, guys. So basically, you want to look at your market from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. That's what we call TDA, top-down analysis. All right. So basically, I'm going to show you the direction of Euro USD and what to look out for during the week. Okay, so but first thing first, let's look at what the market has done so far following yesterday, in Monday, 21st of April to today. And then let's see if we can anticipate a potential entry. All right, so let's look at the 15 minutes time frame and see what the market has done so far. All right, beautiful. So look at what the market has done. So I have my session splitters right here, and that helps me to know which day of the week we're on to. Okay, so right now, look at what the market did on Friday. This was Friday, all right, and then this was Monday. Very good. So you can see that the market actually consolidated yesterday, Monday. Okay, it consolidated. So I don't want to be in this kind of trade. Okay, that's not showing willingness to go up or down. It's not showing willingness to buy or sell. I just want to sideline and see what the market is doing on Monday. All right. So basically, that is my separators for the week, and I, for me to know the direction for the week of Euro USD for the week, I always want to do my analysis from the dollar index. Remember, I told you guys the dollar index is the benchmark actually, where is the bounty to regulate the US dollar currency pairs. So the dollar index is represented by DXY on the it's represented by DXY, that's on your trading view. Okay, I love using trading view because I have so many tools here to play with. Now let's look at what the market did on Monday on the dollar index. We still have a consolidation right here. I'll mark out my consolidation period. Look at this. The market is not showing any willingness to go up or down within this period. It has been consolidated, of course. So I don't want to be taking a trade right here. Okay. Now the DXY is saying, let's look at what the DXY is saying on the higher time frame. We want to decide the overall trend for DXY. So what we want to do is to go to the weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, what the dollar index is saying, if we zoom out a little bit, we'll see that the market has been what? Buying, is in a bullish market condition, right? When you zoom out, you'll see that the market has been in a bullish market condition. Okay, this was an impulsive move, retracement. okay, into 50% of this region, equilibrium, and then look, there was what, a mitigation block right here that triggered this very movement here to buy to give another impulsive move, right, to clear out this high. So basically, was actually it has been a bullish trend all the way on the weekly time frame. Okay, you can see my beautiful trend line, right? Look at how market kept retesting the trend line and then buying off that zone. All right, so basically, where is the market right now on higher time frame? You can see that the market is approaching the trend line. So we're expecting it's approaching the support region, right? So we're expected to see a what? A bullish move to the upside, okay? Where is going to be our potential uh target? This would be our potential target for the ones, likely this high right here. Okay. So but first, that's the more reason why I'm not going to take a trade on what, on the London session in during the London session, because the market will likely push down, sell into this very trend to touch or contact this very trend. Okay, so that's why I'll have to wait for the New York session before I execute my trade so that I'll see a possible entry. Okay, so already the first signature here is that we have a what? We have a mitigation block right here. There was failure swing here. The market failed to break this low to violate it, which shows that it is a strong support, right? The market pushed up, broke the structure. All right, so we see a W pattern which formed a mitigation block. Price retested into this region. Okay, the block here and pushed up, created an inducement, which means liquidity has been swept right below here. All the liquidity pool has been swept here, which is a very good reason for us to be what, to look out for a buy on the dollar index. Okay, all right, we'll be looking for a buy because market is already rejecting at what, there's a bullish order block here, confluence with the mitigation block, liquidity has been swept here, so we will be looking for a buy. First, we have to wait and get our confirmation again during the New York session. All right, so that's that for the weekly time frame so far. Okay, remember our potential target for the month or for the week, and then ultimately for the month is first target is here, and the second target is here. Guys, don't forget. Okay, you can see I had already positioned myself since yesterday. Okay, to take this slide, take the buy to the upside. Okay, guys. So for now, let's look at, we use this objective now to inform our trade decision for the Euro USD. Okay, so we are looking for buy, okay, on the dollar index. So if that's the case, on the Euro USD, we'll be doing the inverse. We'll be doing the opposite. All right, same thing. You can also see we're just going to invert it. Let's just invert our objective. And what do we have right here? On the weekly time frame, the same thing we had on the dollar index is the inverse we have right here. We have a mitigation block here. Price will to take out this high, okay? Forms this what, mitigation block right here. Price block structure right here on the weekly time frame. Beautiful. Slide it down. Okay, retest it back into the zone. Okay, into the zone. Think about 50%. If you put your Fibonacci retracement tool from this low here to this high, you see that price is already at deep what, premium level. So remember, at premium we will sell, at discount we buy. So what are we looking out for? We'll be looking out for a sell on the Euro USD. Okay, but are we just going to be selling right now? No, not yet. We are going to wait and sell during the New York session. So I can see an inducement kind of right here on the weekly. All right, a lot of retailers will be buying off this region, thinking market is going to keep pushing to the upside, but that's not what I see. Okay, looking out for a sell, all right, to come during the New York session or the late New York session. So now the next thing is that. Okay, that is that for the HCF. So where's our potential target for the week? First is this low right here, and also this low right here. Okay, that is our target. That is our target ultimately for the week, right? So looking out to sell the Euro USD. Looking out to sell the Euro USD. Okay, looking to sell the Euro USD. Of course, if we see our entry model during the New York session or the late New York session. So let's look at the overall trend. The overall trend for the Euro USD, just like we did for the dollar index. Is it a buy or a sell? It's obviously a sell, guys. Obviously a sell, right? So a lot of retail traders will see this as a break. They will see this as a break and will be waiting for a retest to buy. Okay, you'll be waiting for a retest for them to what? Buy, because obviously most of them will see this as a trend line, which and this as a break, okay, and a trigger for them to keep buying. But no, that's not what I see. Okay, I see this as a trap. I see this as a trap for the market to sell. This is the liquidity I'm targeting on this, because that is the overall trend. Okay, guys. So that's basically it on the weekly time frame. Alright. So once you've done that, you want to go to your forex factory and see what the fundamentals are saying, the fundamental analysis, okay, and how it may likely affect the market, the liquidity in the market for the week. Yeah. So today is 22nd Tuesday. So we want to go to April 22nd Tuesday, right? We have it right here. Okay, so you can see that on Monday we don't really have a high impact news on the Euro USD, on the Euros, or even US dollar. We have low impact news and non-economic. So of course that was the reason why market didn't really made a significant move yesterday. So today being Tuesday, let's see. Obviously we don't really have a high impact news, but we do have a medium impact news during the New York session, right? Late New York session, yeah. Okay, so and then we have FOMC, which is also low impact, which is also low impact. Yeah, so basically, let's see. There's a possibility we might not get our entry today because of there's no high impact news to really push the market significantly today from the fundamentals. Okay. But Wednesday, I can see some very interesting news, high impact news that will likely affect the market. Okay. So you can see by 8:15 on Wednesday, we have a French flash manufacturing reading PMI. We have all of this high impact news, which will likely impact the uh, price action. Okay. They have FOMC, medium impact. Wow. So which means we'll look out. We'll likely get our entry perhaps today during the New York session or late New York session to hold our trade as against the high impact news tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Okay. And then Friday also high impact news but on card. Yeah, Canadian dollar. So we want to take out our entry, exceed our entry maybe late Wednesday alright, during the late New Year session or Thursday during the London session, depending on what the market gives us. Okay, so that is what you want to do. Now, reason for checking this is to actually see how a fundamental analysis, which is a life happening, life events, will likely impact uh, price action or your trade decisions for the week. Okay, so basically that is direction for the week. That's our directional bias for the week. Okay, and you can even see a sign here. There was a strong rejection here. Okay, there was actually a strong rejection right here, which is a sign that market is already uh, preparing to sell off this region. Okay, so let's see what the market is going to do now that we know uh, our decision, or we know the direction of Euro USD. Using dollar index to help us figure out where price action is going. So let's go down to 1 hour time frame. What can we see on the 1 hour time frame? Basically, look at this. Wow. So what do we have here? What do we have here? So we have a flat pattern, right? Most of the retailers see this as a flat pattern, and we're expecting price to push up about this same length to the upside. Okay, but for us, that's not what I'm seeing. Okay, that's not what I'm seeing. Okay, because our higher time frame objective is telling us that the market is likely going to sell. So we'll be looking out for a sell, guys. So the obvious things I can see right now is that we have an equal loss here, okay, which the market has not really taken out. This is very, very attractive to the institutions to likely be a draw on liquidity. Secondly, I'm seeing an inefficiency here. We have an imbalance, a lot of inefficiencies here, fair value gap here, okay, another here. We also have an imbalance. All this one side movement, the market will want to, institutions will want to rebalance into those key regions. Okay, so that is uh, what we can see so far on the 1 hour time frame. Alright, so maybe much later, this break here might give us a fair value gap which the market maybe retest for those taking trade on the higher time frame on maybe 1 hour, 4 hour, might use that as an entry. Okay, you can use the 1 hour as an entry. Alright, so that is that on the Euro USD, guys. That is that on Euro USD. Okay. Uh okay, so basically that's what we're looking to see. Alright. That's what we are targeted to see during the week today. And so let me just give you a quick recap of what the market did there last week. Yeah. Okay, remember I told you guys uh you can see that we've been going bullish right from time. It has been a bullish entry all through, right? And if you go to the lower time frame, you discover that our entries have been forming on Tuesday here, okay? Tuesday here. So you want to go to your chart and back test, right? This is Wednesday. So some of the entry might not really give you on Tuesday. You might not get a sweet entry on Tuesday. And then you look out for your entry maybe on the London session, during the London session on Wednesday, all right, or during the New York session on Wednesday. So it mustn't be Tuesday, but Tuesday normally gives a very good entry, early entry. Okay, but if you don't get an early entry, then you just have to wait for Wednesday. You take your entry on Wednesday. So most times, just as I said earlier, the forex graph will help you to determine, um, to be able to figure out what the market is going to give you, it's likely going to give you in terms of volatility, okay, as to whether the market is going to really move at length or is just going to give a very low uh, trading objective, okay. So basically, that's my take on the Euro USD, guys. So yeah, beautiful. So this is the 5 minutes time frame on the Euro USD, and let's see what the market did here. So actually, for this sniper, now sniper for the, yeah, for the scalping strategy, remember we said earlier on that when you see a signature, let's say a mitigation block, a break and retest or something during um before the London session, okay, you look for a fair value gap and take entry. So traditionally, this would have been a reason for me to enter the trade. But since my higher time frame objective is a sell objective, I wouldn't see this as a buy. Okay. Why? Because I have a breaker block right here. Liquidity was swept below this point, right? And then, of course, the market broke high here. So we had a break of structure here, retest into this fair value gap, which I see right here. So if I was going to scalp, I would have actually gotten an objective to buy, okay, short term, but then this will not actually make so much sense. Okay, imagine if I'm going long right here, which is a 50%, right? And I'm putting my stop right here or right here. So what's going to be my target? My target is going to be the nearest liquidity on the opposing side, right? Which is going to be this equal highs right here. Of course, this would have given me about one of two, one is to ratio two. But then sometimes price may not even get to clear the liquidity, which is right here. And it might decide to come back and take you out. So you don't want to take such trades, right? That you end up struggling with. Okay, you want to take a trade that you will easily get to your objective. So now that I know from my high time frame objective that the market is going to be selling, I wouldn't want to. I could actually scalp, but I wouldn't want to take this trade, right? So beautiful. That's my take for. So you can see how the market, the selling pressure actually increased from here. Look at how the market went right down. It dropped real quick, really dropped to the downside. So uh, look at what happened right here. Let me show you this. Yeah, this was actually the drawn liquidity. Look at what the market did. The market went really fast, real quick, cleared this low, right? And what happened, guys? We're pushing up to the internal range liquidity. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have a fair value gap here. Okay, we have a fair value gap here. So, so this will likely be an objective for us to sell, for us to sell. So let's look at this, guys. So if I'm going to be selling short term, I'll target this lows, this pool of liquidity here. Okay, but normally we want to take the swing trade for the whole week, right? So if I'm to take 1:2, I can take this trade. This can also be a nice trade. Okay, right? Why? Because we have a breaker here. But in most cases, guys, I wouldn't be selling right here. Okay, it's still going to be very expensive for me to sell right here as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because my entry model saying that I have to see a sweep on liquidity during the New York session or the late New York session for me to be able to execute my trade. Okay, to look for entries on the lower time frame. Right now, I wouldn't like to sell here. Okay, so but then remember what I told you guys. If you look at the 1 hour time frame, we after this rejection, there's the 1 hour time frame. Good. After this rejection, let's see what we have here. So remember this fair value gap we marked. Okay, we still have it's also a fair value gap on the higher time frame, on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so but on the higher time frame, which is 1 hour, the market is likely going to uh, maybe reach out for this this bearish order block here, okay, or perhaps the week here, okay, before it distributes to the downside. And likely it might want to respect this just as I marked and push lower, okay, push lower to break this low here, okay, so that we can get another internal range liquidity entry during the New York session. All right, so that is what I'm looking out to see this week. Okay, so stay with me, guys, as I'm going to be giving you updates on what the market is doing. Today is Tuesday, so I'll be giving you a rundown. Okay, so see you guys, and I wish you good luck and good trading, guys. So if you have a question, please you can drop your question in the comment section. Okay, and drop your question in the comment section. So thank you so much, and cheers.